All right, let's dive in. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the modern cannabis dispensary. If you're new to all this, I get it. The options can feel pretty endless. But our goal here is to turn that confusion into confidence. Let's do it.
Have you ever looked at a dispensary menu and felt like you were trying to read a different language? Trust me, you are not alone. All the terms, the products, the numbers, it's easy to feel lost. But don't you worry, by the end of this, you're going to be navigating that menu like a total pro.
Okay, so first things first, we've got to learn to speak the language, Just understanding a few key terms is really the foundation for making choices that you're going to be happy with.
Let's start with the biggest one, the question pretty much everyone has: indica versus sativa. The answer to this has changed a lot. So let's separate the old myths from the new facts.
For the longest time, the advice was super simple. Indicas were for chilling out. Think Indicouch. They helped you unwind, gave you more of a body feeling. Sativas, they were the total opposite. Uplifting, energizing, something for the daytime. That was the classic way of thinking.
And this is really the most important takeaway here. After decades and decades of crossbreeding, pretty much everything out there is a hybrid. That means a product labeled indica might actually feel energizing, and a sativa could totally relax you. So yeah, those old labels, they just aren't very reliable anymore.
So, if we can't really count on indica or sativa, what should we be looking for? The answer is terpenes. These are the aromatic compounds that give cannabis its smell and, way more importantly, they're what really steer the effects. For example, the terpene linalool. It's the same thing that gives lavender its famous calming scent. Looking at a product's terpene profile, that's the modern way to figure out how it's going to make you feel.
Okay, so now that we know about terpenes, let's connect the dots. Let's talk about matching these products to the experience you actually want to have.
Let's be real. Two of the biggest reasons people start exploring cannabis are for better sleep and for managing stress. So, how do you actually find a product that can help with those specific goals?
Think of this as your cheat sheet. If you're looking for something to help with sleep, you'll want to look for products that are high in terpenes like marcene and linalool, or even the cannabinoid CBN. And for stress, a lot of people find that products with high levels of CBD, that's the non-intoxicating part, are fantastic. Or a balanced 1-to-1 ratio of CBD to THC can be great too. It's all about matching those compounds to your goal.
All right, we've cracked the code on the lingo and we know what to look for on the label. Now it's time for the fun part, navigating the menu and actually picking a product.
For so many beginners, convenience is everything. That's why pre-rolls are so popular. They're just ready to go, right out of the box. And of course, edibles and THC-infused drinks are huge sellers too, because they offer a super discreet, totally smoke-free way to get started. As someone new to this, you also want to make sure you're getting good value without having to, buy out the whole store. So what are some of the most cost-effective ways to go? If you want to get the most for your money, there are a few great options. Value packs of pre-rolls or buying flower in slightly larger amounts can really bring down the cost per gram. Multi-serving edibles like a big chocolate bar are another awesome deal, and things like tinctures and vapes can be really cost-effective too. Just because the dosing is so precise, they can last a really long time. Okay, let's zoom in on the one product that can cause a little bit of anxiety for beginners: edibles. When you do it right, they're amazing, but it is so important to know the rules of the road. If you only remember one single thing from our entire chat today, please make it this: start low and go slow. Your body processes edibles completely differently than inhaled cannabis. The effects take way longer to kick in, and they last a lot longer too. Patience is absolutely your best friend here. So what does low actually mean? For someone who is truly a beginner, we're talking about a 2.5 milligram dose of THC. This is what's called a microdose, and it's the perfect way to just dip your toes in and see how your body responds without getting overwhelmed. Let's just break it down into 3 easy steps. 1. Start with that tiny 2.5 to 5 milligram dose. 2. And listen, this is the most important part. Wait at least 2 full hours before you even think about taking more. And 3. Maybe look for a product that also has some CBD in it. That balanced ratio can create a much smoother, more comfortable experience. So you've made your choice, you know your dose. Now for the final piece of the puzzle, actually getting your products. For total convenience, a lot of places offer delivery now. The process is usually really simple. You just place your order online, though just be aware there's often a minimum purchase amount. And the most important part, have your valid, government-issued ID ready to go because the driver has to check it when they arrive.
And this brings us to a super crucial point about safety and quality. When you buy from a licensed dispensary, you're buying peace of mind. This quote really says it all. The products are coming from trusted, licensed, local producers. That means you know you're getting something that's safe, tested, and high quality every single time.
And there you have it. From figuring out the difference between old labels and new science, to picking a product for better sleep, to safely trying an edible, you now have a really solid foundation. The whole goal is to feel empowered, not overwhelmed.
The next step? Well, that's all you, because this journey is completely personal. With this knowledge, you're not really a beginner anymore. You're an informed consumer who's ready to find exactly what you're looking for. So the only question left is, what will you ask for?